don't know how this is gonna go, but we're gonna do this anyway. There was a wild idea I had the other day about getting some enticing ideas for showcasing my book, but I want to do something that wasn't just doing a reading of the book, which sometimes it works out very well and sometimes it's a good thing, but it's always fun if someone else were to read the book. What would it sound like in someone else's accent or someone else's tone of voice? And I thought, what better way than impressions?
You could tell me this is a cat, or a dog, or a snake, or a fly. I would say, okay.
It sounds weird. I watch way too much RuPaul's Drag Race for the fact of how well people are able to get the exact dialect in someone's voice. And after a lot of stupid impressions I have done of some celebrities, I'm like, I think I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring and see if I can do that with just a page of my book. So, game plan is, in a couple of little pieces of paper, I have written down 4 names of certain famous people that have very distinct voices, very recognizable voices, and just some voices that I would feel be interesting to hear a chapter being narrated in that voice. So I'm gonna try the best I can and see if I can do that. I don't even know. See, I have an accent just now. I don't know why I turned to a Southern Belle, but I guess it's just happening because I'm getting nervous. I'm like, oh no, my Blanche is coming out now. Oh God. I should have written Blanche down. That would have been great. Maybe that would be the idea for the next one I do. So, I do not remember which names I wrote down on which pieces of paper, so we're all going to find out right now which one is going to be the first one to be the impression to narrate a page. So let's go for this one. I think I'm really gonna botch this because I think we all know the best person who has ever done Carol Channing is Ryan Stiles, so I feel like I'm just gonna do like an impression of Ryan Stiles doing an impression of Carol Channing. I think this is how it's supposed to go.
It's great to be here wherever I am.
I'm trying to find like a good page I feel will be really great in her voice. I don't know if I'm gonna do a good job, I just know from what Ryan Stiles does. Oh, got it. Jules popped up with a, that sounds like Peter Lorre. Jules popped up with the folder, getting up off the floor to sit behind the countertop. And what did Linda have to say this time? He said as he flipped through the pages. She spun her chair around to see him. Same thing you tell Lou. Jules hummed. Of course. Fuck you, Lou. She does that context in the figurative and in the past physical ways. He skimmed through the pages to see what he needed for the personal gain he was deprived of this morning. He placed his feet up on the arms of her chair. Speaking of fucking Lou. I think this is really bad so far. Cassie slanted her eyes at the statement. I sure hope you don't mean what Linda means. No, he replied quickly and bluntly. I mean in general. He fucked me over this morning by depriving me of the cat job. He flipped the book over to Cassie. This guy. Cassie looked up at him. Jules nodded. Him? Again? Yep. There's no way Matt should be out of prison. Cassie handed the folder back to Jules. I know he's been out of prison. Cassie handed the folder back to Jules. I've known he's been out of prison. I just told Lou he was so I could do the job now before Matt's out. Before he knows Matt's out. It's hard to impersonate and read at the same time. This is difficult. This is a duality of entertainment. When can you start the job? Now. I can swing by and get Brad's more of a brother. It helps Brad, it helps society, more importantly, it helps us. Jules stepped off the counter to get the keys off of Cassie's desk. I can't do it anymore. I really can't. I'm gonna die. I really botched this page. That was hard doing a Carol Channing accent. Ryan Stiles does a much better job. It sounded like Peter Lorre halfway through. So that was a page in chapter 7 that I just read to you guys. So if you ever get that page, please don't think of my Carol Channing accident when you read it. let's see who's next. Oh no. Oh no. So this one's gonna be easy, but at the same time, already hate myself for doing it because an Owen Wilson accent is so easy, but it's so annoying at the same time. It really is, because he does the same damn thing in every movie. I would know. I just watched Anaconda today, so I already got fresh in my mind of the whiny whispers that he does. If freaking, what's his name? Tom Hiddleston can do it. Too many Toms in Hollywood. Tom Hiddleston can do it, and so can I. Oh, yep. I think I got a good one here. Okay, so this one's a little far back, but I'm going to try my best I can do. This is in chapter... the part is in chapter 16 called One Way or Another. And this is going to be a page that's not entirely a spoiler, but you'll see when you get there. Mitchell had a coy look on his face. You have a special job, working on cars, 1 through 10. Overtime since Nash isn't here. You can take a share in fare. Mitchell tossed the workload of papers to him. But Mitch, I want to... Mitchell put his hand out to stop the stutters. Appearances, Ennis. We have to keep them up if we want a successful business. Ennis wanted to argue, but he couldn't. He accepted his role and walked out with the papers. He missed the surveillance part of the job. He was retained in contact or area of his ex Katie. Therefore, this would have to suffice. He gave excellent information to every piece of monitoring the artist. First time he felt special. He went outside to start his work. He pouted, seeing all the work he had done since Nash isn't coming back. Across the way, Lou just pulled up. Ennis stared at him. Lou spit in his direction and went to unlock the shop. Ennis still stood there in his own pent-up rage. He hadn't been this pissed off since Katie broke up with him. This wasn't right. It was a step back in getting back at those smug artists for what they were in for. Even though the odds were better in the mechanic's favor, with the photo of Jules and Cassie and the explosion that would never be tied back to them after clever wiring, the anxiety and tension raced through him. This job was the first time Ennis felt normal, with voyeurism, to be around flawed people. He believed every word Mitch said. He had a great idea for his business to expand and help others. How could Ennis be in charge if these artists and the taxidermists were still here? Nash isn't here. Mitch is busy. Carly's out to chase Bullet and then deal with a childcare situation. Ennis looked back and forth from the cars he had to work on for the holiday rush to a smart car and take care of business himself. Ennis grabbed his scratched-up Ray-Bans to imitate Tom Cruise for risky business. He got into his car, turned it on, prepared to burn rubber. Wow. Oh my, well, that was... Wow, indeed. So I don't know which one this one is. Oh, I knew it. Ooh, I'm actually looking forward to this one, because this is kind of what inspired it. Oh, this gonna be very interesting. If anything else, Christopher Walken is the number one thing you can do without even having to try. You just have to take very long pauses. Ennis had been watching more than documenting. Figures. Figures. Nash rubbed his eyes tiredly as he answered. Something about a psychopath. When? Mitchell adjusted his thick-rimmed lens to see what Nash's shitty writing said. It helps if you put your hand out. It just does. That's what Chris Walken does, man. Nash only shrugged his shoulders. It was all the information he got. Besides, the assholes aren't looking forward to it. It would be a possible key opportunity, since it was an immediate connection to Lou. How was he connected to Lou? They don't know, but it'd be one way to fuck him over. Nash's notes also included how nervous he sounded. That was a plus for them. Even better, and Jules sounded uneasy too. Both pains in their asses had a common factor of discomfort, a rare chance that had to be taken. Mitch, when are we gonna stop fucking watching them and actually start fucking with them? Nash whined as he waited for the real entertainment to start. Mitchell swiped at his greasy sweaty forehead as he says, "That white, patchy stain on your uniform says otherwise." Then he began to walk out of the office to resume mechanic responsibilities, excuse me. I don't know how the hell my own words work, and I wrote this thing. I forgot to even read the thing I wrote. Mitch, seriously. Nash swiveled in his chair around to talk face to face to Mitchell. Unlike Ennis and Carly, he wasn't afraid to do so. Mitchell closed the back door. The door back, I'm just getting stupid now, walked over to answer his subordinate. "I have a plan. That's all you need to know. Till then, keep watching any move. Listen to stupid things they say for our advantage." Nash huffed at the vague answer. The only part Mitchell was right about was it was kind of entertaining. Their drama was tedious, but laughable. Watching the girls in the bathroom getting ready was strangely arousing. Their bodies weren't attractive in his book, but it got him off. They've had this set up under their noses for only a couple of months now. He's been ready for what Mitchell has been pitching. What the fuck ever. Natch scratched his buzzed head, I give myself like a C- for that. That was kind of getting a bit weird. I really had to get all the pauses out for that one. Whew. Okay. I'm seeing an imprint before I've even opened this one, but I already know which one this is going to be for the grand finale. I feel like it has to be this way. Been coming out of my cage. I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. How did it end up like this? I feel like I'm gonna have like a heart attack and I'm just gonna be worn out just trying to do this. This is gonna take so much energy out of me because this book, ironically, I feel like Nicolas Cage would actually do a narration of my book considering there's so much fucking yelling in this book, and that's a majority of all his performances is just angry yelling. It just would be this random angry yelling that just goes up and down, so you just never know where the hell it's gonna land on the emotional scale of Nicolas Cage, and every arrow just points to like an anger mode. This is gonna be interesting. I hope my grandfather doesn't come in here and be like, "Are you okay?" I'll be like, "I'm coming out of my cage, I've been doing just fine." So it's been obvious right now that this is like a dark book. It's extremely dark. My friends have told me they've had to take breaks from my book because they're like, "Sammy, we did not know you had this kind of in you." So this is another example, but just kind of a idea. It does kind of reference something that's a bit true to life sometimes. So just a heads up. I had to say it because I saw the first line and I went, "Oh, I gotta make a warning." It's unfortunately true. The women's testaments, according to the book, said the court fell for his cherubic face with the shelters. Other volunteer work that swayed the court's decisions. Fuckers like him, they'll meet their match just like Kyle's free vasectomy. He'll get used to jail time. The box will be a good starter. Keep that in mind. You'll need those comforting thoughts of a woman when you'll be in there to reverse it in the reverse situation. That piqued in Patrick. He began to throw a punch. Lance caught his wimpy, chubby fist in time and twisted his fist. Patrick buckled to the ground with an unmanly squeal and squeaked out, "You fucking pansy!" Lance glared at him. "Where you're going, you'll be the pansy. They'll be doing the fucking." Before Patrick tried to shoot with his other free fist, his whole body seized and shook. Lance let his fist go as he fell to the ground, 2 taser burns in the back of his neck. "Oh, it still works," Cassie says in surprise, disarming the taser gun and putting it back in her jean jacket pocket. Lance was neutral on it. "Okay, now what?" Cassie and Lance dragged the douche to the box. Lance was impressed about how strong she was and his guy had to be roughly 275 pounds. Hell, he was thinking about how this is literally his first in-house box job. Just means he'll be getting a better income from a tattoo. After discussing with Cassie where Patrick is going next, and to make sure Cassie gets half for helping him. Okay, I think I can't really go to the last little page because the fact that it's gonna continue on and you get the gist. That was a lot. I'm exhausted. That was a lot to impersonate a celebrity narrating a part of my book while giving it its emotion. That was hard. I give myself like a D-. That was some pretty hard celebrity impersonations, and I'm not really the best in all of them, but that was a good start. Apologies for the blurring of some of this video. I have no idea what's going on. I had some serious blurred lines going on. The lines that I already was kind of blurring because I didn't read them correctly. But that was interesting. I really liked doing that. I would be down for making this like a continuing thing for the future books of Inglorious Ink or just future books in general, but I need to up my game on my celebrity impersonations. I got a lot to learn. I'm gonna have to rewatch a lot more of Whose Line Is It Anyway to get a general gist of how I can correctly mimic someone. I need to go to the Ryan Stiles school of doing Carol Channing impressions. I imagine it's probably a hard school to get into, but it's worth the payoff just to get the accent just right. I hope it entertained you guys as much as it did. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to purchase Inglorious Ink, it is available on Amazon. But thank you so much for watching. Hope it entertained you. If not, I hope you judge the hell out of me. I don't blame you. I do all the time to myself. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.